Hello, everyone. It's me again, Professor Jeremiah Lyoso, and for today, we're going to discuss the service characteristics of hospitality and tourism marketing. Our learning objectives for today is to describe a service culture and identify the four service characteristics that affect the marketing of tourism and hospitality. So, first, let us discuss service culture. This is a system of values and beliefs in an organization that reinforces the idea that providing the customer with quality service is the principal concern of the business. Please take note that in the business of tourism and hospitality, our main product would be our service. And as a marketing professional or as a future leader in the tourism and hospitality, it's important to take note that we have to pay so much attention to the level of quality that we are giving to our customers because this would be the basis of their loyalty to our brand. A service culture focuses on serving and satisfying the customer. Creation of service culture has to start with top management and flow down, and that should become the management credo, or all of the employees of the organization should live up to that culture that service is of top priority, just like with the concept of total quality management, that everybody in the organization would participate into this service culture. Service culture lets the employees know that they are expected to deliver service to the guest and provide employees with the tools and support they need to deliver good service. So that's why I would like to reiterate that the service culture should be a philosophy which should start from the top management and should emanate and continue up to the rank and file employees, so that when this philosophy is echoed all over the organization, this will continue and you will be able to achieve your organizational goals and objectives of ultimately satisfying your customers. Now, let's take a look into the important characteristics of service marketing. And in or as a tourism and hospitality professional, it's imperative that you know what are the unique features and characteristics of our industry. And this would be intangibility, variability, inseparability, and perishability. And we will take each of these four service characteristics one by one, and we will give an example so that you would be able to understand what this truly means and how can this be applied in the hospitality industry. Our first stop is intangibility. This is a major characteristic of service, such that when we say intangible, in meaning cannot, that they cannot be seen, tasted, felt, heard, or smelled before they are bought. So, unlike with a physical or actual product, intangible products cannot be seen, tasted, felt, heard, or smelled before they purchase. And hospitality and travel industry products are experiential only, and we do not know the quality of a product until after we have experienced it. So, what can we do with this problem of intangibility? So, we have to be aware that we have to make the intangible tangible, or we have to make sure that the experience that our customer will get from the availment of our product and services would be a holistic approach. And what we can do is the use of physical evidence. These are tangible clues such as promotional materials, employees of the firm, and the physical environment of the firm. So, like, even before they purchase, you have to make sure that they will really feel what you are trying to offer. You allow them to visualize, you allow them to to see even before they actually go into your establishments. You allow them to imagine how your product would taste, how or how they would feel with the service that you are going to give. And there are many clues that can be used to tangibilize the intangible. A firm's communication should also reinforce its positioning. A service organization should review every piece of the tangible evidence and to make sure that each delivers the desired organization image the way a person or group views an organization to target customers. So it's like a communication from the organization to the customers. You have to send the message across to your customers, and that is the goal in marketing or of the marketers. You have to make sure that the right message will be delivered to your customers. And the messaging, it's not just about the commercial or the promotion and the advertisements. There are many cues by which you could tangibilize the service. And here are some of the ways by which you could make it really an experiential activity or an experiential experience to tangibilize the intangible. So number one, yeah, that to tangibilize the intangible. So you have to make sure that all of the senses or your business will be felt using all of the senses. Like you have to make sure that their sense of sight would be able to function through the use of maybe color, aesthetics, and like even before you come into the restaurant, when you know that the image that they portray is something like this, or they use this colors to be able to convey a message, will will gain effectiveness when it's carefully studied and well put together. You can focus on service benefits and satisfaction. And this is through the use of tagline to show brand promise. Like when you heard the tagline of Jollibee, Bida ang sarap. What does that give you? Or when you see the color red, when you see the mascot, what does it convey? Well, for me, I think that all of these evokes happiness, a happy experience every time. And whenever I would visit this fast food giant, I would or I can imagine the crispiness of their chicken being delicious. And you could further improve the tangibilization of the intangible through the visualization approach. You visualize the service. You can make use of an open kitchen concept so that your customers would be able to see how the food is being prepared. And however, this is not very common because it's kind of um, critical because you really have to pay so much attention that the in the way that you prepare your products conforms to high level of safety and sanitation. You can also make use of infographic menu so that this will elicit imagination. The customers would have a view how your products would look like. What are the components? How big it is? How small it is? Okay? And then the commercials also convey a powerful message in delivering truly what your company could give. And through the use of brand ambassadors and customer testimonials, this sends a message to the clients of their previous experience with that organization, with the hotel, or with that restaurant. What are their feedback? And because of the popularity of the brand ambassadors, sometimes we are held to also believe in what they are saying, and that is the power of the brand ambassadors. Okay, so those are some of the ways by which we could make or overcome the challenges in intangibility. Can you think of some other examples by which you could overcome the challenge in intangibility? All right. So we will move on with inseparability. So this means that it cannot be separated. So both employee and the customers are often part of the product. Physical goods are produced, then stored, later sold, and still later consumed. In contrast, hospitality products are first sold and then produced and consumed all at the same time. In most hospitality services, both the service provider and customer has to be present for the transaction to occur. For you to be able to feel really the service, you have to be present there. Like, say, for example, you wanted to have a good coffee. So you need to go to the coffee shop to be able to feel the aroma of the coffee, to also feel the excellent service of the barista. So this becomes a holistic experience at the and they are inseparable. You have also it's not just about the product, but also the service personnel that delivers the service. And just like with intangibility, we could overcome this problem or challenge in inseparability. Another implication of inseparability is that customers and employees must understand the service delivery system because they are co producing the service. This means that hospitality and travel organizations have to train customers just as they train employees. So it's very given that when you arrive or when you are at a business establishment, you are hired by the the HR manager, and then you are sent off to training for you to be able to deliver excellent service. However, let us normalize the culture of also training our customers. What does that mean? Or how can that happen? So, as we have said, that the interactions of customer and employees has to be there during the service delivery system. We have to educate our our customers so that they will have a very nice experience. You train them how can they best enjoy a food. You train them how to use the various facilities and the amenities of your establishment so that they would have a very excellent experience. So you see, it should work hand in hand and it should be together that you also train and educate both the customers and the employees. So this characteristics of inseparability requires the hospitality managers to train both. Okay. The third characteristic is variability. So from the word variable, a major characteristic of service is that their quality may vary greatly depending on who provides them, when is it provided, where is it provided, and how they are provided. And you can realize from a customer standpoint that even if you have been loyal to a particular brand, you have to admit that there are variations in the delivery of their service. Even if every day that you would be visiting that particular restaurant, the service delivery is not always the same. Because if you can imagine that the service personnel who will serve you on the restaurant could vary. And ultimately, because they have different knowledge, different skills, and different attitude, their delivery to you would be varied. And also, the time and location could also be a factor why the delivery of the service could be varied, such that the delivery from branch A is different from the service delivery in branch B, or the service delivery in the morning could be different with the service delivery in the evening. Okay, so in this variability, we have to consider that The input varies, and also the transformation and the process also varies, thus giving a very different and varied output. So, with that in mind, we realize that services are highly variable. Services are produced and consumed simultaneously, which limits quality control, and the high degree of contact between the service provider and the guest means product consistency depends on the service provider's skills and performance at the time of exchange. Consistency means that the customers receive the expected product without unwanted surprises. So, this is the goal and challenge of the operations manager, the marketing, the owner of the establishments to always provide consistency. Okay, however, this is really a great deal of a challenge because of the problem of variability. However, what can we do? Judgment about service are based on perception by each individual customer on each individual occasion they purchase the service. That's why it is true that the saying goes, you cannot please everyone, you cannot please all of the customers because their experience are varied. Their judgment and perception of the service delivery depends on many different factors. Okay, so it depends on who provides the service, when is it provided, where is it provided, and how is it provided. And there are steps to reduce variability and to create consistency. Okay, so this is not really very easy, unlike with delivering a consistent product that you could set on a machine or computer or by which you could have a consistent delivery of products. But because of the human factor, it's a challenge to deliver consistency. But we could follow these simple steps of investing in good hiring and training procedures. As I have said that the human resource or your employees are a big factor in the delivery of the service. You have to constantly provide them with trainings, with workshops on how to attain an excellent service every time. And that delivery of the service is also consistent to all of the customers. You can standardize the service performance process throughout the organization. We have what we call the SOP or Standard Operation Procedure, by which you could follow as your guiding principle to be able to deliver a consistent service. And then, as a manager, you have to monitor customer satisfaction. You evaluate the service, maybe through common card, or you ask them every time to review and reflect and evaluate the level of satisfaction that they have received every time that they avail of your service. And the last characteristic would be perishability. So this is a major characteristic of services that they cannot be stored for later use. Services cannot also be restored. So what does it imply? Revenue managers must be careful that they maintain the brand's image while at the same time trying to reduce unsold inventory. What does that mean? So, unlike with a physical product that you can store for later use, later consumption, or to be sold for later, say for example, when you have prepared goods for service or for sale, it can be stored in the freezer or in the chiller for later use. But with a service, you cannot do that. You have to consider that capacity needs to be filled on each occasion whenever it is available. Just like with the airline seats or hotel rooms. Airline seats has to be consumed because if the seats are vacant or if the hotel rooms are vacant, it is an indication of an opportunity loss. So what does an opportunity loss means? It means that you lost that opportunity to be able to generate sales. A vacant seat is loss. A vacant room is also would incur losses for the company. And revenue managers alongside with the marketing managers should think of ways, methodologies, strategies to have these filled at a certain occasion. So you need to read our forecasting is really the game plan for this one. And what I can think though of a better way to overcome this challenge of perishability is better planning of supply and demand, and to also be good in forecasting, such that you would know, um, given the facts and the data, you could do forecasting. And in operations management, there are some methodologies that you can use to have a very good forecasting. Okay, that's why some marketing managers or operations manager are really planning on how they can best sell their services to the consumer, such as giving away discounts or the piece of fare that we would always encounter with various airlines because they want their seats to be sold ahead of time. Okay, and it's also the reason why some companies would collect reservation fee every time that you would reserve for a hotel, reserve for a table at a restaurant, so that the service is ensured at the time of the purchase. And if ever that you will be canceling, it is understandable that the reservation fee cannot be reimbursed because that is considered an opportunity loss. Okay? So, with that, we have covered the characteristics of service marketing of intangibility, inseparability, variability, and perishability. And as future workers in tourism and hospitality, it is important that you have a clear grasp of these characteristics and how do you overcome these challenges. So we will stop from there. Thank you very much. And I hope that you have learned so much today. If you have questions, feel free to message me. And I am excited for our next topic on service management concept. So again, this is Professor Jeremiah Alioso. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next meeting. Bye-bye.